President Donald Trump used a primetime address last night to raise some questions about foreign threats to American elections.
Yeah, Paige Ellenberger is here with what the president had to say. Good morning.
Good morning, Brandon. Before that speech, the president kept what he was going to say pretty close to the chest. He ended up speaking only of allegations of election interference. The president said newly released records show that China obtained data connected to 220 million American voters across 18 states in the 2020 election. He accused U.S. intelligence officials of withholding reports about Chinese activity. The president referred to the public to documents posted on the White House website, but did not show that foreign actors changed any votes or altered the outcome of the 2020 election.
That information includes names, addresses, phone numbers, political party preferences, and other sensitive data that would be needed to register to vote and engage in other nefarious activities, which is exactly what was happening.
Multiple government agencies led by Trump appointees have determined that that election was safe and secure. That included the Department of Justice, the Department of Homeland Security. 60 courts, including Trump-appointed judges, have also rejected legal claims about those results.
The president called for investigations, firings, even possible criminal charges. He said the information could be used to exploit the voter registration process. President Trump used the discovery of these documents to renew his push for Congress to pass the Save America Act. For Good Day, I'm Paige Ellenberger.
Paige, thanks. U.S. strikes hit more bridges and a tower at a key Iranian port in the 6th straight night of airstrikes.
At least 7 people killed in these strikes in the southern province of the country. This is part of President Trump's threats to hit infrastructure to pressure Tehran to ease the chokehold on the Strait of Hormuz. Iran has retaliated by targeting Qatar, a key mediator in the war. Iran has also targeted U.S. allies in the Middle East.